They need the leadership and encouragement to say, let's find yeses instead of nos. Let's find answers instead of technicalities. Let's find the hope in people instead of trying to find the reason to hold or delay. To me, this is about the veteran. This is about getting them the access to care that you and I and many on this committee voted for.
And everyone knows water is the lifeblood of agriculture. And so, I look forward to working with my Republican colleagues, my Democrat colleagues, and promoting and protecting the important ag economy in California, and hopefully getting a farm bill done here this Congress.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here.
And of course, that includes almost 750 incarcerated individuals who are stepping up and acting as firefighters in the front lines. And also want to thank the immigrant community in the area offering free food to the first responders and collecting donations for the families in need. From firefighters to food vendors, friends, local neighbors, all coming together in this time of tragedy. That's what community is all about. That's what this nation is all about.
The lesson learned from the preventable murder of Caleb Rios, age 14, is painfully clear. Stop releasing violent repeat offenders. New York can no longer remain the only state that prohibits judges from considering the public safety risk of cold-blooded murderers like Waldo Mejia. Enough is enough.
We believe that one of the most important things is for every government agency to have their employees report back to work, because we're going to be making determinations, as every administration should, about the right size, how many employees, the workload, and the work that needs to be done. As a result of people being home, not reporting to work every day, there are lots of government reports that say they're wholly efficient, but in fact, they still have huge problems. And government efficiency will address those.
If you're going to roll back the Affordable Care Act, if you're going to get rid of the $35 per month insulin, my late wife has suffered from diabetes. She fought it for 30 years before succumbing 5 years ago. I saw her insulin bill, $600, $700, and $800 a month. She was a full shot a day diabetic. Now, she had insurance and it's fine. But for those people who do not have insurance, capping their insulin at $35 a month, those senior citizens, was God sent for them. We don't need to have our senior citizens rationing their health care, cutting pills in half because they cannot afford it.
Donald Trump has a big dream. He has a big dream for every single American, as he said yesterday. Hope and an opportunity for young people who are in school. Hope for seniors because they work to make this nation great. And hope for families because they no longer have to worry about whether murderers and drug dealers are coming into our country.
As the first Arab American mayor in Wayne County, his leadership paved the way for future leaders and was an inspiration to so many of us. In 2014, he was elected to the Wayne County Commission. For 14 years, he served our residents with dedication and resilience, always focusing on bringing people together. Thank you, Commissioner, for your decades of public service. Your legacy will continue to inspire our community in years to come.
The Laken-Riley Act that was passed last night by the Senate changes that. And the executive orders that came out in a flurry yesterday, and I commend President Trump for living up to his promises. We have a commander-in-chief back in the White House that puts prosperity and safety for Americans first.
Well, I thought Trump fulfilled all of his campaign promises in one speech, and he took the Biden administration and Kamala Harris to the woodshed, rightfully so, on several issues.
Yeah, I mean, that was a surprise that right there in front of them, he said, you know, basically, you really suck.
Why was yesterday such a great day? Because here's the deal. This thing is dead. And here's what we got. Yesterday, from President Trump, another executive order unleashing Alaska's extraordinary resource potential. I encourage all Alaskans to read this. The new administration, the Trump administration, is coming in and saying, Joe Biden should not have crushed Alaska. We need to uplift Alaska. I've been working on this executive order with the Trump team for weeks. And yesterday, when the president announced this, you could hear an incredible sigh of relief from Alaskans, and with regard to our future, it's morning again in Alaska. The war on Alaska in working families and our economy in resource development launched by Joe Biden is over. The Trump administration wants to be a partner and opportunity. That's why yesterday was a great day for our great state.